Greetings, community. It's Kevin of NCBD and Comics, and I'm here to bring you another edition of Kevin's most anticipated reads tomorrow for New Comic Book Day, 7/12/2023. Hey, I appreciate you being here, and as always, hey, welcome before and maybe at present of New Comic Book Day. If you're new to the channel, well, this is how it works out. I end up listing my most anticipated reads, and at the end, I end up giving you my favorite, which I enlist at it called the Blue Light Special. It's pretty easy to notice. Not only is it at the end, but you'll see a little blue light. Hey, let's move on from there, and hope everyone is doing well tonight. Perry, I hope you're doing well, man. And hey, appreciate you being here. Let's start off with Amazing Spider-Man issue number 29, and the series has been but overall, it's been pretty good for me. The reason why is, I guess, in comparison, in the past two series that we've had, this has probably been one of my most favorite in the past. Like I said, as an ongoing series in the past 3, maybe 4 years. So I'm sticking with it. It's been pretty cool, and there's still been some fallout from what ended up transpiring, which I'm going to talk about next in the next issue of, as I'm going to list. Here we go. That's with you. Fallen Friend, issue number 1. Well, this is actually what I made mention. What transpires after issue number 26? This kind of gives us the breakdown of how the fallout of Ms. Marvel and what transpires after that. Because we really don't get much in The Amazing Spider-Man as a breakdown what's happening to everyone else and on the side of, Kamala herself. So this kind of gives us a little more detail in that, and I'm definitely anticipating this read. I want more breakdown because we know what's going to happen when the classified issue comes out. You know what I'm saying? All right, moving on from Fallen Friend issue number 1, we're going to talk about Incredible Hulk issue number 181, facsimile. Can't afford a real one, but hey, I can definitely give me one of those pretty little shiny foil ones. And hey, I've never really read hey, Las Cruces, you got beat out. Appreciate you being here, buddy, sincerely. Never read the original, 181, so the facsimile is going to have to do it for me. I could put it perfectly with my 180, which in my opinion is for parents. Just saying. Moving out from the Incredible Hulk 181, we're going to talk about Miles Morales issue number 8. Miles has been consistent and great. This is an issue that I'm really anticipating because it's ramping up all the stuff that's happening from and during and now after with the Carnage stuff. Miles has had hell of a time in the past few months, and we get to see how he's dealing with it now. Moving out from Miles Morales, issue number 1, we're going to talk over at the Red Goblin, issue number 6. This has really been one of my most favorite issues, meaning as far as an ongoing series has been concerned through Marvel, and this present issue coming up is something that has led to some real hardcore stuff happening with this kid. So this is definitely going to be almost edged out the other issue, which is my blue light. Just missed it. Seriously, Red Goblin is that good, and I highly recommend it to anyone not reading it. If you're into the symbiote stuff, if you're into anything of the Goblin type stuff, this is one of the beautiful meshes that you'll ever get, sincerely. All right, moving out from the Red Goblin issue number 6, we're going to talk about Warlock Rebirth issue number 4. I'm not really super familiar with the old Warlock, though the new reintroduction is pretty freaking awesome. It's been cool to him finding out, what happened with him and how he came back. And so I'm just, this evolution of this character, which I really never knew before, and this introduction as the character is to me now is pretty freaking cool. I'm hoping to see more down the road, but hey, that doesn't scratch the fact that I've been looking forward to issue number 4 of 5 for quite some time. What I mean is I'm really back ordered on my issues. So when I get my pre-order in, you're going to see like 120 books show up. So, and this being, like 2 issues back that I've been missing is up there on my most anticipated reads. Moving out from Warlock issue number 4, we're going to talk about Web of Carnage issue number 1. This wraps up the whole Rom V series of what we've been receiving from him as far as like a nutshell-y thing. He finishes out for us in a beautiful little way, and I've been looking forward to this for quite some time. Rom V is going to move out from a lot of the Marvel stuff and start doing other stories. I think he's even working on some adaptions. So the fact that he's not working on any of these symbiote stories, it's not doing my heart any well. At the same point, I'm glad that I get to read this issue and that how it's just going to wrap everything up, because we're going to end up with more symbiote stuff and what's transpiring after the whole Carnage reigns and what's ending with their death of Venom, so forth. So this is a nice launching pad to further stuff that's supposed to happen towards the end of the year. Moving out from the Marvel side, we're going to cruise over to the Image Way, and we're going to talk about Haunt You Till the End, issue number 2. This is a Ryan Cady story about the rich an individual that's trying to find not only proof of the afterlife, but kind of wants to tap into it. I think he's trying to buy a seat in the heaven. But I think he's going to unleash hell. Issue number 1 was a beautiful setup, and I'm looking so much forward to issue number 2. And I really, really enjoy Ryan Cady's style of writing. It's something that I not only enjoy reading, but it's a particular way in which it almost seems like every page sets up the next page, and it just keeps building on one another. And I really like that style. Moving out from that, Haunt You Till Dead, issue number 2, we're going to talk about Fish Flies, issue number 1. I've only got to see a couple pages of this, and I really enjoyed it. If you were lucky enough to go ahead and get a new comic book day version of this stuff, then you already had a nice little tease. I think there was some ash cans floating out there too, and I never got a hand on one. But I did get, like I say, a little tease of this, and this looks really interesting. It seems that it's a ball of wax with a bunch of hair in it. And inside of that's probably an onion, because there's like a layer on stuff, ugliness with layers in there, and it keeps delving deeper and deeper. It's a really interesting way of not only presenting the story and what little I saw, but it looks to be a fascinating read as a little mini. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this. However, you know what time it is. That's right. Blue Light Special time. What it is we're going to talk about IDW's TMNT and Stranger Things combination. This is a crossover I've been waiting for a while. I mean, I know I talked about this about 3 months ago, and hey, this was my most anticipated read. My Blue Light Special really reflects on something that I never thought would ever happen as a crossover. And it did. So I'm dying to get my hands on this. This is going to be so unique, so interesting that I can't wait to be the first one in line to grab my hands on one of these copies. And really, seriously, my Blue Light Special, TMNT, Stranger Things, and that's it for me. Entropy. You stay well.